Yo, what up, everybody? You're here watching Across the Spectrum. I'm your host, Digz.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'm here with.
Alright, guys, it's your boy Spyro here.
This is Khoa.
And this is an introduction episode about, what the podcast is about, topics that we're going to cover, kind of how we met, and to give you a little background on who we are and why you'd want to listen to us. So the podcast is called Across the Spectrum. It's mainly a gaming podcast, but it's not going to focus on games themselves. We want to cover topics that I feel like a lot of people think about, but they don't really talk about, because most of the time the focus is on the games themselves, right? So we're going to talk about different aspects of gaming, like the psychological part, communities, habits that people have, influences, like do reviews influence your purchase choices, or like what games you're going to play, even for like gear and things like that. Perspectives and ethics, and then obviously we're going to talk about video games too, because it's a gaming podcast. And then the reason that this was kind of my idea to begin with, and the reason that I chose Spyro and Khoa to do it with me is because of their personalities. Khoa's had many discussions with me in the past. And he's not a yes man, as he likes to say. So he definitely puts in his opinion, and the same with Spyro. Just he's a little more outspoken about it, and he won't try to shut you down, but he definitely has a strong opinion on his own. So I guess we'll start off with like how we all met. I guess I'll take this one too. I met Khoa like almost 10 years ago when I was living in Pittsburgh, and he was in a dance group that this other guy that I taught how to dance was running, and yeah, he ended up coming over to the house that I was staying at, and we kind of just like clicked from there and started kicking it pretty tough. Even though he's young, he got a big brain. I'm just kidding.
Appreciate it.
And then Spyro, what we met at what?
Last chance qualifier for Tekken 7.
Right. So this was what, like 4 years ago almost?
This is before the
game came out. Yeah.
So that was like 2017, because they ended up having the little event thereafter in the club, and then showed off the game for PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
I think that was probably like three-ish years ago.
Yeah, I think it was like the fourth build that they had, where they just added Master Raven and Bob. Yeah. So
because they announced them at Evo.
Right. So it was pretty crazy. There was like hella people there. It was like 200 people in this small room. And then they had congested. 9 tournaments, because there was 9 open spots, because that was the year that Anakin like bodied everybody at all the nationals, or like the bigger tournaments, the placements. But yeah, I was just like, who's this big ass dude that keeps talking to me right now? And then I think we exchanged names there, and then I ended up seeing you at a tournament like 2 weeks later, and then that's when we kind of like started talking, and we connected more. And I was like, hey, you would join my group, bro?
Man, I remember you when you still had the ponytail.
Oh, yeah,
the ponytail. You came in the last chance qualifiers with that, and then you had the the hair that you got now.
That's
when we met again.
Hell yeah, I had to cut it because Jenna don't like it long anymore. This is my significant other. Yeah, and then how did you two meet, Khoa and Spyro?
I think we met at a tournament in the city.
In Concord.
No. We met before that. You didn't remember me.
I did like that. No. You don't even remember people though.
It was in the city. What's it called? Digz, it was when Tekken 7 hadn't officially been released yet. It's when we met.
Merce. Was that the one?
We met Mers. Yeah, we met Mers. And
that was the finals.
Yeah, and like it was like half of the cool kids. It was like Mikey Rocks, I think. Oh no, forgot his name.
Right. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Wait, was that at Ruby Sky before?
Yeah. That was the day after the last chance qualifier, right? Or like
yeah,
the weekend after or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
was...
once they filled the spots, then everybody would go to the finals for Ruby Sky, which was only like $5 just to get in.
Yeah. But you had to like buy it through the like, event vibe or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Because and I was like, yeah, you just bring $5, and they're like, no cash, you have to buy a ticket. And I was like, well, what? Like, can I just buy one for them online? All right. Then we just did it on my phone real quick.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Damn, that's crazy. So like, you met him almost the same time that I met him, like a day after.
And then we met each
Oh,
other more through Conquer tournaments.
Right.
Oh, so I met you the day after you met.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
The day after, because that last chance qualifier was to fill the 9 open spots for the tournament, and then once they filled those spots, the next day they had the tournament at Ruby Sky.
Until like 2 a.m. because that was around the time of the elections too. So everyone...
Yeah, people were checking their phones like, damn, Trump is winning.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I think it was like 19 hours or something like that because it started mad early. It started like
it started
6 a.m.
at 9 a.m. in the morning and it lasted all the way till
Was
like
it
2
9?
a.m. in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like 8 or 9 in the morning.
I think I only did like 6 of them because it was single elimination, and then whoever won one of the tournaments got a spot, and then they just restarted it, and then you just kept going and going and going. And then, by the time like we got to like the 6th or 7th one, it was already almost like 12 o'clock or 12 midnight. I was just like, I'm done, dude. I'm leaving. Like, I don't even care anymore because I'm playing shitty. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Cool. So how long have you guys been playing video games for, Khoa? How long have you been playing games for?
Shoot. I want to say at least when I was like 4 at the very least, maybe even 3. Because I remember playing games on what was one of the first games I ever played? It must have been on like the NES or something like that. Like I remember playing Ice Climbers. And was that not the game?
I have no idea.
I don't know because I remember like the big ass cartridges or whatever. I can't remember what other games I played. Oh, Mortal Kombat, obviously, and Killer Instinct. That was one of my favorites.
I think that was Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo?
I don't think KI.
I thought it was N64.
I don't think KI and Mortal Kombat.
It was N64.
N64? No, I think there was a.
I
know
the Ice Climber game. The Ice Climber game was for sure NES though, the original.
We'll have to look it up.
Mortal Kombat originally came out for Sega Genesis.
Well, we did have a Super Nintendo for sure. Like I know that.
Yeah, we'll have to fact check it out.
Yeah.
So that's about how long now? That was one of your first games.
Yeah. Damn, how old am I? I'm 27. God damn it. I've been gaming for like fucking 24 years at least.
When did you realize that gaming was something that you were interested in? Was it Ice Climbers or whatever that game was called? Where you're like, this game is sick.
I think it's from the very beginning. I just remember ever since I was a kid, I just played a ton of video games.
Dope.
Yeah. So.
How about you, Spyro?
It's kind of fate. It was kind of hazy in terms of the actual age that I started playing, but I do remember that the first console I ever owned was a PlayStation 1, and the very first game I ever played was Spyro the Dragon. Hence, my gamer tag.
Handle background.
And then, shortly after, I ended up getting a Sega Genesis, so I ended up playing Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat. There was a robot game that was 1v1, but I forget exactly what it was. You can like customize the arms and stuff like that.
That's tight.
I'm not too sure. And then also Comic Zone.
Oh, dude, that game was dope. You got that
I,
Dick
I never
Tracy
got past the
jacket
third
and
level.
yeah,
Beat people through pages,
yeah, that
and
shit's
then
tight.
yeah, and I ended up having like a PlayStation 2 for quite a while, and this was during the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, so I was kind of late to the party, and I initially ended up getting both consoles. But I ended up playing my 360 more, so that's when I started getting into other genres of games like shooters. That was like the main genre that I was playing for quite a bit until I started playing fighting games over like, see, this is 2020, like 6 years ago.
Damn. So he was late to the game. No, I'm
So
just kidding.
roughly, it's been like the majority of my life. So I would say, because I'm like 26 right now, so it's around like the same number of years. Probably be like less, maybe at least 20 years.
20, yeah, 20 plus. Yeah, down. Now I don't even want to talk about my experience because it's
Go ahead,
yeah,
Digz.
you guys are like,
The
yeah, my
long
first on
history.
a PlayStation. And I'm like, oh shit, that was like my seventh console. And I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I've been gaming. I remember my dad was like a pretty heavy collector and things. He collected like, toys. We had the first generation Transformers, like all the Ninja Turtle toys, GI Joe, and then like video games were his like next thing. I remember him having an Atari 5200 and a ColecoVision, but I don't remember playing them per se. Like I may have when I was like he might have let me play them, but I just don't have any recollection of it. But I do remember playing the NES, and one of the games that they played a lot because my mom played it was Tetris, and I was like, "What is this block game? Like, what are you doing? you gotta build it up, and then it clears." And I'm like, "That's stupid. What's the point of building it then?" Like the concept to me was like ridiculous. But then when I played it, I was like, "Oh shit, this is like cool. Like, it's a puzzle and it's like interactive." And ever since then, like every single console that had come out in between, like I played, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega CD, even like Game Gear, Game Boys, Virtual Boy. Did you ever see that one? Where you put your freaking face into it. It's like a Game Boy game, and it has like red outlines, and it's kind of 3D perspective. Like they had like a front, middle, and a back. It's pretty like it was pretty crazy back in the day.
It wasn't like something you had at home though, right?
It was a home console.
Oh, it was a home console. Oh, okay.
Like you literally put your face into the goggle part, and then like you can see the lines for everything. And they had like Mario games, Wario, and shit like that. It's called Virtual Boy. You could look it up and see like what they have. But yeah, PlayStation, PS2, Xbox, Dreamcast, pretty much everything up until current gen. So it's probably like 25 years of gaming, like from actually being able to recall memories of gaming. Nice. I guess that's not too bad in comparison to you, because y'all been gaming for 20 years and you're younger than me. So.
We're still, we're not OG status yet.
Right. So, most of us kind of played games competitively at some point. I know, Spyro, you're probably the most active out of everybody. Like, what games are you playing right now competitively?
I'm still playing Tekken 7 tournaments weekly. So most of the time I've been switching on and off between commentating and actually playing, because I'm, making sure that my skills aren't rusty. But at the same time, I've been kind of helping out because they don't have too many commentators for me. So that's usually the main thing. And then I've been playing Extreme versus Maxi Boost On. It's a Gundam game that just came out yesterday. So I've been wanting to, see if they're actually going to do tournaments for this, because it's, heavily played in Japan. It was like #1 for the time that it came out. Oh. And the Western audience been wanting it from some time now. So I've been trying to hold my skills and, up the content on my YouTube. Dope. But those are like the two main ones right now. No shooters, really. I haven't really been playing as many shooters as I would expect lately, to be honest. I've been kind of getting into other genres.
think shooting like FPS, whatever shooting games, like tournaments, they seem a little bit more tedious to organize because of lack of like custom game modes where you can invite people and have like a spectator or whatever. So I know Valorant does it. Like Apex doesn't have that yet, does it? Like,
no,
they still have like a weird like round counting thing where like if you get this kills, it's worth this many points, and then if you win, it's worth this many points. But it's stupid because it's like, what if I get paired up with like all Apex predators in a casual match?
Get too random.
So
many variables.
Exactly.
But,
so
yeah, because I mean the two main ones that I've been seeing lately is just Modern Warfare gunfight mode, the 2v2 stuff, and then Fortnite. Those are like the two main like shooters that I've been seeing.
Tournaments for and things.
Consistent.
Yeah, I think Warzone too, right? They added like what is it? One in the gun or something like. They have a mode on there where you could just invite people, I think, and play them. I don't know. I may be wrong, but I've been seeing Warzone a lot everywhere, like a 2v2 mode maybe, or 1v1 or something.
I mean, unless it's like the gulag thing, because normally whenever you would die, you would have a chance to come back. So you have to 1v1 somebody, which is the gulag. It's kind of like a prison and everything like that. So if you win, you get a free life essentially.
Right.
But you can only do it once.
Oh, okay. One continue.
Yeah.
Word. How about you, Khoa? Any competitive games?
At the moment, no. I mean, I did play Tekken 7 for a bit, as you guys know, back then. I think I entered just a lot of weeklies. I don't think I ever entered anything major. But I think I stopped once I got busy with like school, work, and stuff like that. And then after a certain point, we didn't really have the weeklies anymore. So once I got some more free time, there was like nothing that was close enough for me to branch out into. So I guess I kind of just dropped off. Now I'm just playing casually.
Word. You did more than Tekken 7. I think you did Dragon Ball, right? We entered that Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah, we did the Dragon Ball tournament.
Didn't we do Blaze Blue also?
No,
there was no tournaments yet.
No, not for Blaze Blue.
They weren't happening.
In my area, yeah.
Yeah, we were just botting people in the arcade.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah. No shooters or anything? No other games? No rhythm games?
Not tournaments. I don't know. I mean, what's the competitive, like, actual like, tournaments, right? Yeah, so not really, no.
Oh, word. Cool. Obviously, most people know that I competed in Tekken. I'm like on and off. It's very dependent on what my family's doing. Having two kids is
hit or miss coach.
Yeah, it's like I'm there or I'm not there. But I always try to support as much as I can. Giving you guys tips and feedback on matches. But yeah, Tekken 7 was one of the main ones. I entered a Dragon Ball tournament once and got bodied, but I beat Khoa, and usually he beat me.
Did.
So he usually beats me, but yeah, I beat Khoa and I completely OCV'd this dude. So, and I had like a pinch of health left, and I OCV'd all three of his characters. It was dope, but that was like my last Dragon Ball tournament because too much to focus on with Tekken. But back in the day, I also played Quake and Counter-Strike competitively, like super competitive tournaments every weekly online. Got points that you could exchange for like prizes on one of the sites called Heat.net. It was like pre-Steam. It was before Steam even came out. Maybe even before GameSpy came out. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that either, but
I heard of
it.
Yeah, it's like something where you could find servers to play games on. Yeah, and then this will kind of lead into the next one, which is if we have any accolades or like victories or things that you've won. One of the things that I won was a pretty big Counter-Strike tournament pre 1.6 because I stopped playing once it made the Steam only transition, and which was 1.6. So I was playing like 1.0 up to 1.5, and there was this league called OGL, which was Online Gaming League, and I played on the server. I don't remember why I stuck to the server. Maybe because everybody was like cool. was assholes. They're like no jerks or trolls or anything. And I was fucking like 13 or something. But they had like 2 clans that frequented on there, and one of them was Red, like R3D, and then the other one was what was it? S4C, but it stood for something like stupid, like sex for clammy, which was one of the like members in the group. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I was like, why is this a clan name? Whatever. But I wasn't in those clans. But since they're like, yo, let's merge, and then and it's pretty tight because their name ended up spelling sacred, you know, S4C RED or R3D, and I was like, yo, this is tight. And then because of like my stats, I was like top 10 maybe on the server. They invited me to play, and then we worked our way up on the OGL league scrim leaderboard or whatever. And then towards the end of their run, I guess, they decided to have a tournament that got sponsored by a bunch of people, you know, Intel and stuff. This was way before esports and all the sponsorships back in the day, or like what they have now, sorry. So we got invited to a 5-on-5 in Seattle. They flew me out. They flew out the other members, and we competed, and we scrimmed, and we ended up winning. So I ended up getting like a little under $2,000 because they still had to tax it. But yeah, it was a $10,000 tournament, Counter-Strike tournament that I won. Then unfortunately, OGL shut down because they got eclipsed by another league that had like many divisions called CAL, which was like Cyber Athlete Amateur League. And then that automatically put us in the top league for that. But I kind of stopped playing because that's when it changed to 1.6, and then I started dancing and shit like that more. So, yeah. The long-winded history of the old man.
Counter-Strike.
For Counter-Strike, right? Hey, I was like 14 years old and I won $2,000. That's fucking crazy. So I had to have my mom sign everything. My mom's with me.
No discretion.
Right? Yeah, because if you're under 18, you know, all those contracts and stuff, you have to get signed by a parent, which is just how it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So what type of games are you guys playing these days? Like, what are your favorite types of games? Like genres, or what's something that draws you in and keeps you busy these days, Spyro?
Well, recently I've been getting into like Japanese RPGs. So like Neo or Nio, I don't know how to pronunciate it. Excuse my
It's a Neo.
foreign abilities.
Nio.
There was also like a free RPG that I recently got in a giveaway that I have. It was Tokiden.
Oh, Tokiden?
Yeah, Tokiden 2.
You mean
I ended up...
Japanese Monster Hunter? Which is, even though Monster Hunter is Japanese, but it's like the hella Japanese one. Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, because I played the trial version because they do have a trial version up to a certain point, and then after that you have to buy the full game. But you would still keep your progress, essentially, and then continue the game from there. But I always wanted to do it, but around the time when I was working, I didn't exactly have like the funds to like purchase it.
No.
Uh-oh.
Great.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Khoa, what'd you do?
Oh.
There you are. That's fine. Alright, so you're playing Tokiden?
Yeah, so after, because there was a time where funds were low and I wasn't able to purchase it at the time. Khoa ended up having a giveaway through Twitter, and I ended up registering, and I ended up winning. I was surprised because I was wondering how many people actually. I mean, I was trying to get a different game, Warriors Orochi 4, which is a hack and slash, because I'd be into that sometimes wherever I want to mellow down, basically. Not have to try so hard in competitive gaming, like Tekken.
Light, Mushu. Light, Mushu.
Yes, I can just defeat hordes of enemies and not have to think so much unless I pick a harder difficulty.
Right, and then have them praise you every 50 kills you get. You're a legend, or what? You know what I'm talking about?
You're a true warrior of the kingdom. You killed 1,000 people. Like, yes.
I know I did. What would you do without me?
Yeah, it's like JRPGs, RPGs in general. Sometimes even hybrids, like shooter RPG hybrids, like Borderlands or Division.
Mm.
Hack and slashes for like the mellow out sort of thing. I do shooters a little bit more often. I usually play with a lot of my other friends, and we do like Modern Warfare. I haven't played Apex in a minute though, but and then there's Maxi Boost, 2v2 crazy stuff there. So I've been kind of expanding my horizon since the Xbox 360 days and just playing like different genres, and I've been enjoying myself so far.
It's cool, man. Yeah, it looks like a pretty
Diverse
library. Yeah, pretty diverse like gaming, like what you're into. You have something for everything, which is cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Khoa? What you playing these days?
Honestly, right now it's just a ton of Valorant. I don't really play shooters.
That's so funny, dude.
I really don't play. Okay, so just some backstory. Like I don't play shooters too often, just because it gives me like a really bad headache. I think when I was a kid, I would play like Halo 2 with my cousins and stuff like that, but that didn't really give me any issues. But I don't think I've ever, I guess, stuck with the game for as long as Valorant. I know it's only been out for a little bit, but yeah, I think it's not as crazy as like Apex. I tried playing with my friend, my roommate. He was like, "Hey man, hop on Apex." I play like one game, freaking migraine for the next 2 hours. So
wow.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time. But Valorant, I don't know. Even when I first started playing Valorant, actually, it was pretty bad in the beginning, or not pretty bad. It gave me a decent like headache, like an hour or two afterwards. But I got kind of used to it. Now it doesn't bother me at all. I can play for like I play till like 5 a.m. sometimes. So
I see it. So Koala Bear is playing Valorant. Oh, still? Damn, all right.
But yeah, it's like the first shooter that I actually played a lot, besides like maybe Fortnite. But even then, I was pretty casual with that. And then other games I play, I actually do like Mark was saying, a lot of JRPGs. I've been getting back into it, but like more like the traditional ones, I guess you could say. I like a lot of turn-based. But yeah, I think other than that, I play a lot of. I kind of like the cinematic games, like I kind of choose your choice, like Walking Dead or something like that, or Detroit. Yeah, story-driven games. Yeah, exactly. And then the last one would probably be, or the last type of games I've been playing a lot of is roguelike games. Been super into roguelike games.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, it's pretty diverse too, which is probably why we're friends. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's dope. It's the Valorant thing is like super funny to me, especially for me.
Wait, why?
I don't know, because I know like your backstory, like with like FPS, because I think we like back in the day when we started kicking it, like I was like, yo, play some games with me, bro. And then like, oh, let's play whatever. And you're like, I can't, I get headaches. I'm like, who gets headaches playing FPS, bro? I only knew like one other person that liked that. Like, I literally, out of all my gaming friends, I only know one other person who gets headaches from playing FPS. He can only play for like an hour, and then he's like, I have to like stop, or else I'm gonna have a migraine for the rest of the day. So the fact that you're playing Valorant as heavy as you are, like you're playing it way more than me. You know?
Yeah, I know.
I was like, wow, this dude's like, yeah, I'm freaking bronze 3 now, bro. And I was like, whoa, he's putting in that work.
That's something to be proud of.
It's cool for somebody who doesn't play FPS, and like this is like your first like CS:GO-ish type FPS.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's cool and it's funny at the same time. So it's tight. For me, I think I kind of just play everything. If a game looks dope, and I'm not like super picky. Like if I hear like if somebody recommends a game to me, I'll play it. You know what I mean? Like if the art style's dope and unique to me, I'll play it. I think mostly I've been playing games where like you could just hop in and hop out pretty easily. Like Diablo 3. I haven't even played Apex in a minute either. I know Key and all them are like, where you at, dude? And I'm like, it's cool. C-Mart is keeping my seat warm, but don't even trip. Obviously still playing Tekken just because I've been playing it forever. But there's one thing, I guess one of the genres that I used to like a lot was like JRPGs, the traditional ones, like turn-based, select.
Mhm.
And then now they're just like a little more difficult for me to get into, and it's probably because of my time restraint, due to like not being able to invest that much time into it, but like having kids and stuff. So, but what's cool now though is like getting to explore like the I guess the younger the games that they gear towards like younger kids, because I have kids now and they're just now like starting to play games. So like we just finished Naruto Shippuden, like the anime, and they're playing Ultimate Ninja Storm now, and they're like, it's so cool, like use your chakra. And yeah, they're like calling, oh, did you see that I did rotation? And yeah, they're like calling moves out. Yeah, they're trying to do hand signs and shit.
Naruto run with your hands back.
Yeah, dude, they be doing that. I'm like, yo, go get something, and they go, they're running down the hallway with their arms
With
behind
the arms back like this.
Yeah. So like things like that's cool. Playing like the Lego games are actually hella fun. Like,
Oh yeah, no, they actually are.
they're like super fun, and it's cool because like we're playing the Marvel one, and they could like recognize the characters and stuff like that, so it's relatable to them, and it's fun for me to like watch and play with them too, which is cool. And they're playing Tekken. Like, I don't know what they're playing Tekken for, but yeah, those are I pretty much play everything. Like, there's no like specific genre. Like I said, I'm not picky. I'm older, so it's like, I'm like a super gamer. Like every console I've had in the past, like I've either modded so I can play as many games as possible. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play everything. Like, oh, PlayStation, hard mod that. Like my brother took it to his friend and he chipped it, so you didn't have to do the swap trick. Yeah. You didn't have to do like the open thing. You just popped it in and play burn discs or imports. I'm playing like Gran Turismo, and the PlayStation 1 like JRPG library is freaking massive. Like all the Tales games on there, even like I think that's where the Adelair game started. The Final Fantasies and the ports over. So I was playing like JRPGs all day, and so it's kind of sad that I'm like, like I want to play it, but like, do I have time to play it? And that's why I was laughing when you were like, yeah, I'm going to play all the Adelair games. I was like, there's more Adelair games than there is, like, Tales games and freaking East games.
I mean, I'm probably going to ignore, like, the super duper OG ones, like, the ancient ones. But
the ancient ones?
Well, I've seen the gameplay clips of the old ones, and it doesn't look fun.
Right. Whatsoever. Yeah, I was like, there's like 23 games and like 20 side games. Like, this was crazy. Like, East, at least there's like 16 games and that's it. So, yeah. And then I guess to close it up, what's something unique that you guys have done with gaming? And this can be like, I don't know, something that not every gamer does. Not everybody streams or whatever. I think that's something that we all share in common. Like, we all stream. Spyro, I think you've been focusing a lot on your YouTube channel and video editing.
Yeah, I've been increasing my skills, and most of the time it's like I'm spending all the way from like 5 till 7 in the morning editing, because like midway through the video I end up coming up with a new idea, and I'm like, shit, how am I gonna put this in here? And then it's like in the middle of the video and it like messes up the whole flow. I'm like, I keep thinking of new ideas like almost every single couple of minutes, and it's normally when everything kind of just flows together, it kind of gives me an idea of exactly what I want for the video, and it makes it better than what I initially planned on doing. Right. So I usually like I've been getting a lot more time to overhaul the channel, and then I've been trying to find some time to stream some more as well. Right. But mainly it's just been between the video editing and then commentating for Wednesday night fights.
Yeah, that's dope too. Commentating. What made you want to like commentate? And it's for Tekken?
Yes. So because initially I didn't. I guess like the very first time that I started commentating was some of the events at like Wednesday night fights, and then eventually I've been doing it at UseNet before the virus and everything kind of slowed stuff down. And I ended up wanting to support the community, kind of give back a little bit because they've been helping me in the game and outside the game, for personal things and everything like that. So I figured it was kind of my way to support everyone and increase my communication skills. Being able to talk because
Yeah.
usually I'm a shy person, so normally getting out of my comfort zone is
Just,
what you mean?
I should just end this right now. This one said he's a shy person.
Stop lies.
He's trying to make it sound like he's shy, so that in this podcast, like, oh, he's not shy at all. He's doing a really good job communicating.
I used to be. It's up until this point, I've been steadily but slowly expanding my knowledge, getting more experience, and then now it's a lot easier for me to do stuff like this podcast. If I ask myself like 5 to 6 years ago, hey, you're gonna do commentating, you're gonna do all this crazy stuff, I'd be looking at myself and be like, oh, go back. Shoot.
Go play games now.
Go play games in your room. But I mean, 3 years ago we ended up doing combat for a cause, so we initially did it that year for breast cancer awareness.
Right.
And it was like my mom always said that I ended up having a big heart, and normally I like to help others and do a lot of things.
They just look like a circle.
So it was a way for me to do something that I liked, that I loved, and at the same way that I'm doing it for a good cause. And
Right.
the year after, we ended up doing it for mental health awareness, and then last year we did it for a Make-A-Wish Foundation. So normally it was something that I always looked forward to every year, and I've enjoyed it because they've always wanted me to do commentary every single year. And through the experience and everything like that, people have enjoyed it, and it's made me want to do it a lot more often than I expected.
That's dope, man. Now, what's up? How about you, Khoa? Anything unique?
I honestly don't think so. I mean, I know we all stream. I don't really do anything crazy. I don't make any YouTube videos.
It's crazy is that he's playing
What's
Valorant.
Oh yeah, that's the craziest thing about me. But yeah, I mean, honestly, now that I think about it, no, I don't really do anything. Yeah, so I'm just gonna pass that on to you, Digz.
I don't really do nothing unique other than like the traveling and stuff, but I think that's kind of standard when you're competitive. But you did remind me that we did I did a couple streams for not Make-A-Wish, but what's the one that happens every year?
Oh,
my brain's
some for kids though.
Something life, I forgot.
Extra life. Right. Yeah. Okay. So the first year I did it, the 24-hour stream, and 24 hours is not easy when somebody comes over and falls asleep on your bed like a zombie.
I can explain.
So actually, so just to tell you guys what happened, so I was like, man, 24 hours is gonna be tough, and I was like, Jenna, invite people over so like they can chill with us, whatever. So like our friends came over and they were chilling with us for a bit, and then Khoa was like, yeah, I'll be there, and then this fool he makes a bad decision and he ends up playing with me for like 2 hours. Were you the person? Did you shoot us when we were playing Fortnite? You shot us.
It wasn't until after. It was the second time.
It was Joe. Joe
shot me with a rocket, and then I ended up killing him by accident.
Yeah, this was when Friendly Fire was still on in Fortnite.
The PvE. It wasn't in retaliation, by the way, but he did it first.
Yeah. And then Khoa all of a sudden was like, "I need to lay down, bro. It's like I'm two on one." And then this fool was on my bed like this with his arms crossed,
like a fucking mummy.
And I was like, "You alright, Khoa?" Yes. And I was like, "All right, dude." So I'm trying to game, and I'm going through all my games, and then this is already on like the 18th hour or something. Khoa's passed out. My girlfriend and the kids are passed out, and I'm like, "Oh, I could do it." And then so I'm like updating like Overwatch and other games. So I'm playing Tekken and I'm getting bodied. I think I deranked like 6 times. And I just keep looking back because you can see it's kind of like how Khoa's camera is. You just see Khoa in the back, not even moving. And I have to like check him every like 10 minutes. Like, hey, you breathing, dude? Yeah. But yeah, I think the first year, how much did I raise? Like $300, which was cool. And then I think the second year I raised like 700 or like 1300 or something like that. So that was probably one of the unique things I did with gaming. The side stories apart. And I think the second year you came over. Yeah. And then we were playing Tekken and Overwatch and bodying people. Yeah. But I think the other thing is, you know, I guess I've always been like into organizing groups, getting people together. I don't even think it was like initially it wasn't even like a thing because I did it back in high school too, and we played like StarCraft and Diablo 2. I was like, yo, let's start a clan, you know. And then the clan was called like ESOD. It was supposed to be Elite Soldiers of Destruction. Like, it sounds hella cool, right? And then my friend, and then hey, this was like 1998, so shut up. And then, so my friend was like, why don't you just call it Eat Shit or Die? And I was like, that's it. So every time we would play games, at the end we would just type ESOD at the end, like, what does that spell? Eat shit or die, scrub. And then like but you know, then I started Dunsun, which was originally Merkin on Beat, because a lot of us were dancers, and there's a Destiny clan that it evolved into Fragmented Society, and now we have this. So that's probably like one of the unique things I do with gaming is I just like organizing things and getting people together. Teaching people, I guess, has always been like a big thing too. So that's another reason why like I'm kind of taking. I guess we're like a grassroots organization because we're not esports per se, but we are looking to improve and better people and help people out as usual. That's one of the big things too, is like helping people out and doing things for a good cause. So
spreading the love,
exactly, with the big heart that he has. Word. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for like introductions. It's a good gist of information from everybody. Unless you guys have anything to add. No, then that'll be it for this episode. Thanks again for watching. This is Across the Spectrum. I'm your host, Digz.
This is your boy Spyro.
Khoa.
Alright, everybody. Peace.
Later.
Done, son.